We traveled to Puerto Rico at the President's request only a few days after he and First Lady Melania had visited, to stand with our fellow Americans in the wake of Hurricanes Irma and Maria. I must tell you, we were deeply moved by the resilience and the faith that we saw lived out by the people of Puerto Rico. We were inspired by the efforts of the thousands of Americans in our armed forces and in FEMA who continue to work at this very hour to restore and rebuild Puerto Rico. I'm also honored today to be joined by a friend of mine who I served with in the Congress but would go on to be the governor of Puerto Rico, and a man who loves that territory and loves the Puerto Rican people like very few others. Governor Luis Fortunio, thank you for being with us and for your leadership. Probably the most inspiring time for Karen and me was when we visited a Puerto Rican church in Kissimmee, Florida, even before we left, where we helped load a truck with donations for people impacted by the hurricanes. We saw people connected to the Puerto Rican community who themselves were recovering from a hurricane that had crossed Florida just a few weeks before. But there they were, donating their time and their talent and their treasure to help the fellow Americans in Puerto Rico. Throughout our trip through Puerto Rico, we expressed our administration's unwavering commitment to the people of Puerto Rico as they rebuild and recover. It was heartbreaking, frankly, to see the destruction wrought by those historic storms. We walked through Puerto Rican communities with Governor Rosella and with Congresswoman Gonzalez. But, as I said before, we were inspired to see the faith and the courage and the resilience of the Puerto Rican people shining through. For as Father Peña, a priest from San Juan, told me personally, they may be without electricity, but they are not without light. Wow. And we saw that light when we were there, shining from the faces and the hearts of the brave people of Puerto Rico. And so we know the people of Puerto Rico will recover, and we will be with them every step of the way. As the President said on his visit to the island earlier in the week, I said as well, and I say to all of you gathered here today, to the people of Puerto Rico, we are with you, we stand with you, and we will be with you every single day until Puerto Rico is restored bigger and better than ever before. Puerto Rico se levanta.